The Dahomey kingdom is led by a young King Gizo, and their enemy is the Oyo Empire, which contain giant men with mighty weapons. Despite their strength, it was difficult for the Oyos to conquer the Dahomey kingdom because it contains some fearless warriors named the Agoji, driven by General Nanisca. These warriors do not get married. As the movie begins, we see the Agoji, the group of female warriors, invade a town called Mohi, slaughtering the soldiers of Oyo Empire before coming across their captured villagers and freeing them during the battle. When the Oyo warriors, led by their commander, Oba, came back, they saw the dead bodies of their soldiers. This angered Oba Ade, who insults the survivors for letting women defeat them. And they make plans to invade the Dahomey kingdom. The Agoji moreover lost some of their warriors, and in the morning they mourn their dead and escort the captives back home. The warriors return home and were received by the villagers, who are not allowed to look at them, but a scene shows a young boy looking at the Agoji, but instead of being punished, one of the warriors named Izogi went and cheered the boy. A young lady, Noe, is brought to an old man who would marry her. Noe refused, and her father, being angry with her decision, brings her to the king's palace and offers her to the Agoji due to her stubborn nature. Later, Nanisca's right-hand lady Amenza addresses the new Agoji recruits, telling them they will fight and die for their kingdom. Those who are not ready to die left, while majority including Noe remained. Their training starts the next day. Noe failed in most of training sections. Despite that, she believed she would do better if she was given a real sword. Nanisca allows her to try a real sword on a wood statue to behead it, but Noe couldn't make it as the sword was quite heavy for her. But Nanisca chops the head off with one swing, telling Noe that she has to learn first. The women then continue training afterward by running, firing rifles, and learning combat aptitudes. Noe plays a prank where she sets off a small explosive on one of the statues. It did not go down well with Nanisca, who scolds her for her action. She takes the fault for it as Nanisca chastises her for it. Noe wanted to get better, so she trained harder even at night, which was seen by Nanisca. In the morning, the Oyos arrive at the kingdom's gates for a confrontation with King Gizo. When Oba Ode steps forward, Nanisca gets to be shocked as Oba Ode was the soldier who assaulted her over and over when she was a captive. After discussion, King Gizo agrees to pay tribute to the Oyos. They arrange a tribute to appease the Oyos, which include demands 40 Agoji warriors, but Gizo allows only 20. Then the Portuguese settlers arrive in Africa, led by Captain Santo Ferreira and his companion Malik, the latter whose mother was Dahomey. When Malik sees the captured locals, he feels stunned. Then the Agoji also arrives. Malik joins the scene as the Agoji stands up to the Oyo. Then Nanisca says they will not give them tributes and instead delivers to Oba a severed heads of his men. Then a battle breaks out between Nanisca and Oba. Nanisca tells the Agojis to run away, but Noe sees an opportunity to free the captives and goes back to help Nanisca. Then they both escape and jump onto the river and join other Agojis in the boat. Nanisca scolds Noe for not obeying the rule, but her right hand Amenza secretly tells her that it was she who deviated from the plan, as she was more concerned with slaughtering Oba Ode. Ferreira and Malik meet with Oba Ode and his soldiers as they are talking about plans for the Oyo to team up with other tribes to attack Dahomey and capture more villagers to sell off. Malik was not comfortable with the news. He afterward goes by the water to bathe, where he is found by Noe. They both became friends and he gives her a bit of jewelry before she retreats back to the others. For the newly recruit to be accepted, they had to undergo a test where the Agoji trainees go through obstacles including tombushers, climbing a wall, fighting enemies, and beheading a statue. Noe comes out as the victor and Gizo recognizes her skill and ability. But Noe was injured during the test. Nanisca was also proud of her performance during the test and decided to tend her wound. While tending to Noe's wounds, Nanisca feels something on the girl's arm. This made Nanisca remember the child she had given birth to a long time ago, but decide to give up the child since she could not take care of her. The following day, Ferreira talks to Gizo about his plans to possibly terminate Dahomey's part in the slave exchange, telling him that his wealth comes from the slaves and without them his kingdom would be nothing and unprotected. Gizo counters that if the Europeans are no longer of use to him, then they are also unprotected. Izogi senses that Noe might like Malik after observing them talk cautiously while Ferreira was talking to Gizo. They afterward meet in secret where Noe gives Malik a totem to keep him secure. When he says that he has nothing to give her back, she takes one of his knives. Noe then goes to bed and encounters Nanisca, who chastises her for sneaking off with Malik. After arguing, Nanisca approaches Noe and tells her about the child she gave up. She was a product of assault and Amenza helped Nanisca hide her and give her away. Nanisca remembers cutting the child's left arm and putting a shark tooth in it. Nanisca then cuts into Noe's arm and pulls out the tooth, confirming that Noe is undoubtedly her girl and thus the girl of Oba Ade as well. Noe then feels despair and lives in disbelief. The following morning, Nanisca and a few of her warriors keep an eye out on the Oyo camp. They set fire to their gunpowder and cause multiple blasts, terrifying their horses away and leaving them all helpless. The Agoji dispatch an assault leading to a furious and bloody battle that leaves many Oyo and Agoji dead. At last Noe and Izogi, whose arm was broken, and some other women were captured. While captive, Noe helps Izogi to fix her broken arm. Nanisca decides to rescue Norway and Izogi, but King Gizo refused. She however disobeys his order and goes with other Agojis to rescue Norway and Izogi. Then the European slavers came to buy the captives in Oyo's place. Malik sees Norway and tries to help her escape. But things did not go well as Izogi and Norway start a battle against their captors. Izogi was shot and died in Norway's arm. Just as everything becomes calm, Nanisca leads the warriors into the Europeans' camp for an attack. They set fire to their camp and assault the men before freeing the captives. Malik betrays Ferreira and frees the captives, causing them to drag him into the water where they beat him and hold his head underwater until he died. Norway helps Nanisca as she at last goes to face off against Oba Ode. Then a battle begins where the man attempts to defeat Nanisca but she overpowers him and finally slaughtered him. After end of the battle, everybody returns home and Norway parts ways with Malik as they can't stay together. The next morning, the Agoji return home with their captives and Nanisca is confronted by Gizo. While he acknowledges that she disobeyed his orders, he is appreciative to her for finishing the Oyo Empire and later officially promotes her to the title of Women King. Everybody then cheers for her. The final scene of the movie shows when Norway goes to pay tribute to Izogi and she is joined by Nanisca. She then addresses Norway as her daughter. The two at that point go join the others to dance in celebration and finally hug each other. Thanks for watching this movie recap. Please help us by liking the recap and subscribing to the channel.